Hi guys, this is Sadik from Dotwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to take a backup of the EFS partition on your Android phone. So before you step into the custom development and flash any custom binary, your first course of action should be to take a backup of two partitions. The first partition is the persist partition, which holds the fingerprint data on your phone, and the second partition is the EFS partition. The EFS partition houses the IMEI number on your phone. So these are the two most important partitions. Apart from that, if any other partition gets corrupted, then you may simply flash the fastboot ROM or the factory image and the partition will be fixed. But in case of persist and EFS partition, they might not be fixed and you will have to shell out some bucks to get the issue rectified. If you talk about the persist partition, then even the hardware fingerprint sensor might not work. Likewise, in case of EFS partition, if it gets corrupted, then your IMEI number will show as null, or it will show 000 across the entire 16 digit or 14 digit. So that is why it's extremely important to have a backup of the EFS partition of your phone beforehand. Then if something goes wrong, you could easily restore the backup and then the EFS partition will be rectified and you will get back your IMEI number. The entire process only takes a few seconds. That is why it's highly recommended to get this job done, and you could carry out this task using ADB command as well as the custom recovery as well. The benefit of ADB command is that it's universal and acceptable across all the Android phone, but on the flip side, you will require root. On the other hand, the benefit of a custom recovery is that you don't have to root your phone and it's quite easy to carry out. But on the flip side, not many Android phone has a custom recovery. So in this method, I'll show you both these methods. But as of now, first and foremost, I'll show you the ADB command method, and after that, I'll show you the custom recovery method. So with that said, please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. So first off, regarding the ADB command method, you will have to root your phone via Magisk. In case of all the other Android phone, you will have to patch and flash the boot IMG file if your phone came with Android 12 or older version. But if your phone came with Android 13 and higher version, then you will have to patch and flash the init boot file. On the other hand, in case of Samsung, you will have to patch the AP file and then flash it via Odin in the AP slot. Apart from that, once you have obtained root, let me show you. I've already obtained root on my phone. This is the Magisk app. So once you have obtained root on your device, let's now move ahead with the next step. Now you will have to get hold of Android SDK platform tools, get it from here and extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and these are the files of platform tools. Once you have done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging on your phone. This is required for ADB command. So go to the settings menu, about phone, system, and tap on build number 7 times. This will enable developer option. Go there and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone. Tap on OK or allow and the debugging will be enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to platform to folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. Now type in ADB devices and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you are getting an ID. Once you are getting an ID, your next course of action is to open the ADB shell environment. So for that, type in ADB shell and your phone name or the phone code name should now be shown here. As of now, my phone code name is being shown here. Apart from that, you should now see a $sign. If that's well and good, type in SU and hit enter. And with this, the $sign should now change to a hash and you should now get a prompt on your phone. Tap on grant and only after that, the $sign will change to a hash sign. You will only get this prompt if this is the first time you have typed in the SU command. If you have already typed in the SU command beforehand, then you will not get any prompt and the $sign will change to hash, and with this, we are now in the rooted shell. So let's now move ahead, and now you could take a backup of the EFS partition using the automatic or the manual method. So if you talk about the automatic method, then you simply have to copy paste this command, super user, and then this is the location, this is the partition name, and this is the location where the backup will be placed. As of now, I have taken the downloads folder on our phone where the backup will be placed, and the backup file is named as efs.img. So just copy the entire command and paste it in the CMD window and hit enter, and the backup is now taken. The EFS file is of 20 MB and the backup file should now be placed in the downloads folder. Let me have a look at that as well. So let's go to the internal storage, download, and as you could see, I now have got the EFS file onto my phone. It is highly recommended that you transfer this file onto your PC, because at the instance, as soon as you do a format data of your phone, which might be required by flashing many types of file, the EFS file will be gone from your phone. So please transfer the file onto your PC beforehand. Once that is done, let me now show you the next method. This is the manual method. So let me open the CMD window once again. So first off, type in ADB shell, then type in SU, and if you get any prompt, tap on grant, and we are now in the super user prompt. So with this, you will now have to type in this command and it will list out the partition table of your phone. So let's have a look here. In this, check out the EFS partition. So in my case, this is the EFS partition, and have a look at the address. So this is the address in my case. In your case, the SDA address might be different. In my case, it's the SDA 9. So let me copy the EFS address for my phone. This is the EFS address, and let's copy it. Once that is done, okay, so I have pressed the Ctrl C. Let me start it once again. So in my case, the address is SDA 9. So let's proceed ahead and let me show you once again ADB shell SU, and this was the command. So as you could see, it's the SDA 9, which is the EFS partition. It might be different for you. Once that is done, you will now have to take the help of this command and change the location keyword with the actual address of your file. So in my case, the location will be dev block SDA 9. So make sure to change it accordingly. And this is the command that becomes in my case. In your case, it might be different depending on the SDA address. So simply use this command and type it in the CMD window, and the file will now be placed inside the downloads folder or the location. So as of now, the location we have used is simply SD card. So the backup file will now be placed on your internal storage, not inside any folder, and it will be named as efs.img. So with that said, let's try it out. So paste the command and hit enter. And with this, we have got the efs.img file in the SD card. It's again of the same 20 MB size. Let's verify the same once again. So go to internal storage, and this is the EFS file. As you could see, we have just made a backup of this file and we have got this file. So once again, I will recommend you to transfer the file onto your PC. So guys, these were the methods of taking a backup of the EFS partition via ADB command. Let me show you how to restore this file. So for restoring this file, you may have to take the help of fastboot command. So for that, first and foremost, you have to boot your phone to the fastboot mode. For that, open CMD window inside platform tools and make sure that USB debugging is enabled on your phone. Then type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into fastboot mode. It will just take a few seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen, and then type in fastboot devices and make sure that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers on your PC. For that, you may refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. Once you have installed fastboot drivers, right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown here as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now make sure to transfer the EFS file inside the platform folder on your PC. So transfer the efs.img file over here, and once you have done the transfer, simply type in fastboot flash partition name, which is EFS, and the file name, which is efs.img, and hit enter, and the file will now be flashed. Just make sure that the EFS file is there inside the platform tools folder on your PC, and then use this command and the file will now be flashed onto your phone. Once the flashing is done, you may then use the fastboot reboot command or simply press the power key once, and your phone will then boot to the OS. So guys, these were the steps to take a backup and then restore the EFS partition on your phone using ADB command. Let me show you how this could be done using the custom recovery. So first and foremost, you will have to install a custom recovery on your phone. Regarding this, I have made quite a few guides on this. So let me show you a universal guide. Just a minute. This install your TWRP Android. So this is a guide which is applicable across all the Android phone. So this is that guide. So if your phone has a recovery partition, then you may flash the recovery img file inside that recovery partition. But if your phone does not have a recovery partition, then you will have to first boot your phone to the recovery via the fastboot boot command and then flash the recovery zip file, or you may install the recovery img file via the RAM disk. Or if you have a Samsung phone, then you may flash the recovery in the AP slot. For instance, load the recovery.tar in the AP and load the VBMeta patch in the data slot, and then boot your phone to the download mode and flash the recovery. I have given out all the steps in this guide and the video as well. So do the flashing, and once you have flashed the recovery, let's now boot our phone to the recovery mode. So for that, just type in adb reboot recovery and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into the recovery mode. This process might not work on some phones. If your phone has some type of encryption or decryption issue, then the recovery might not be able to read the data on your phone and you might not be able to take a backup. Let me show you what I am talking about. On most phones that might not be a cause of concern, but on some phones you might face a few issues. So let me first show you. So our phone should now reboot into the TWRP recovery. It will take just a few more seconds for that to happen, and then we will move ahead with the next step. So once you are inside the recovery, simply go to backup, choose the EFS partition and do a right swipe to backup. As of now, I am not able to backup the partition because you could see the EFS is showing as 0 MB. This is happening because the storage on my phone is currently encrypted. To remove the encryption, I might simply have to do a format data, but upon doing a format data, it's just a temporary fix. Upon a next reboot, the encryption issue will once again come back, because in case of Samsung Galaxy S20 and many other Samsung phone, the encryption could only be removed on a custom firmware. On the stock firmware, the encryption cannot be removed. That is why I am not able to use the recovery method. But if you are able to use the recovery method, then just go to backup, choose the EFS and do a right swipe to back it up. Once the backup is done, the file will be placed in the TWRP folder on the internal storage. So after you have taken a backup, so let me show you. Let's suppose this is the backup I am showing just for the reference. Since I am not able to take a backup of the EFS partition, I am showing you a backup for the ODM just for the sake of reference. You will have to select the EFS partition, then swipe to backup, and the backup will not be taken in my case since the data partition is not mounted. That is why it's not able to do a backup. So once you have done the backup will be there inside the TWRP recovery folder on your phone. So you will then have to go to restore, then simply choose the backup file and then it will be restored on your phone. Just flash it, and once you flash it, the file will be back and the persist partition or the EFS partition will be rectified, and then you will be able to get the job done without any issues. So guys, just to repeat, if in your case there are any encryption issue, you will not be able to use the backup and restore feature of the recovery. But if everything is working well and good, then just go to backup, choose the EFS partition and do a backup, then go to restore and choose the file from here, and then you may be able to restore the file without any issues. So guys, these were the two methods for which you could do a backup and restore. The first one is using the adb command. If in your case you don't have a custom recovery or the custom recovery is not working due to encryption issue, then you may use the adb command. In adb command there are two methods, the automatic and the manual. In the automatic, simply use this command. In the manual, you will have to check out your EFS partition value address and then use that address in this command syntax. Then comes the method of recovery. In the case of recovery, you will have to use the Nandroid backup feature, and in case of adb command, you may do a restore by simply using the fastboot flash command, fastboot flash efs.img, and then hit enter, and the flashing will then be carried out, and this will rectify the EFS issue, and then you will get back the IMEI number. Always keep in mind that you cannot and you should not use the EFS file from any other user. It will end up corrupting the EFS partition and then you will lose the IMEI number forever. So please never use the EFS file from any other user, even though if your phone is same as that user's, and even though if you have the same build number and the same custom build prop as well, even then please don't use the build prop or the fingerprint EFS file from that user. So guys, apart from that, if you have any other queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.